Some big news coming in. The Delhi High Court now makes it compulsory for wearing masks even while driving a car alone in the national capital. The court rules that a vehicle, even if occupied by a single person, is really a public space. Here you have the Delhi High Court now, who's made it quite clear that it's now compulsory to wear a face mask even if you're driving a car alone. In fact, the court says that the vehicle, if occupied by a single person, is indeed a public space. So no more moving about a car alone without a mask. If you are in a car, even if you're alone, you've got to compulsory wear a mask now, is what the Delhi High Court rules. Let me quickly cut across to our reporter joining us, Nalini Sharma, joining us from Delhi. Nalini, here's a case, in fact, a case study. Very recently, we remember just last year, through a pandemic, a man was fined while he was driving in a car without a face mask. He was fined by the police. And here we're looking at the High Court now. In fact, the court at that time itself said, upheld the police's judgment. And now the court makes it compulsory that you have to wear a face mask even if you're sitting alone inside a car, considering it's a public space. Do take us through in detail what exactly the court has said.
Well, Nabila, this was a petition that was filed by one of the persons who, like you correctly pointed out, had been fined because he was driving alone in his car without a mask. So he was fined and he challenged that fine before the Delhi High Court, saying that because he was sitting alone in the car, it was not necessary for him to wear the mask. So there was a detailed hearing that had happened in regard to that, where immediately after the petition was filed, the centre had also come up and stated that they had not made any specific rules as to whether or not a mask was compulsory when you're driving alone in the vehicle, mainly because the health is a state subject and only the Delhi government had the powers to make any such rules. At the same time, the Delhi government also came forth and stated that they had one of the notifications that made it compulsory for people to wear masks. And any person who was driving alone would not be allowed to do so without wearing a mask, in accordance with a Supreme Court judgment that already recognizes a car as a public place, even if it's just one person that is sitting in the car alone. So in relation to that, Justice Pratibha M. Singh of the Delhi High Court, who was hearing this matter, has agreed with the Delhi government. They've gone ahead and said that a person who is driving alone without a mask will be fined, and that is compulsory for everybody in Delhi to wear a mask and take precautions, even if you're driving alone in a car.
All right, Nalini, thank you very much for joining us with those details.